So where are we?
So we are at Gigondas, in the mountains part,
Yeah.
close to the Dentelles of Montmirail. We are about 450 meters altitude, and the exposure is northeast.
Tell me about your project.
So the project is obviously to preserve the biodiversity. It's really my duty as a winemaker. And first of all, for instance, you can see we do agroforestry. So I've planted for 500 trees.
Yeah.
The idea is, to make water retention, to make some how do you say in English, to protect from the sun, and also to give some nutriments to the plants.
Yeah.
And also to help the erosion, because here, the slope is about 25%. And when it's raining, the water, run down. So the intention is really to capture as much as water as possible.
And you said you've got about 4 hectares here then?
Yes.
And is this quite a new project?
Well, I've acquired the domain 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me it's a very new project, if
Yeah.
I can say that least. And obviously the vineyard is the Grenache and Syrah, and the Grenache are 70 years old. But Syrahs are younger, about 10 years old. What can I say else?
What were you doing in your previous life?
So in my previous life, I was sustainability consultant. So I used to advise big French companies. So I've done that for 25 years.
Yeah.
And at one point, I was in Paris. So I tried all my best to protect the planet from the Paris office. So I was like an influencer with a big CEO of the French companies. But at one point I wanted to do something with my hands. So it's why I wanted to be in contact close to the nature, to do something in my own scale, for my last third of my professional life. So it's why, as I was very fond of wine, someone say, "Why you are not a winemaker?" I say, "Well, yes, good challenge." Because a winemaker, and more generally an agriculture, a farmer, is really of the front of all the environmental issues we are facing now, about climate change, biodiversity, water. So it was really a good challenge for me, to say, well, yeah, I'm in front line and I have to do something.
So you're putting into practice the principles that you've been talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
What are the biggest challenges for vineyards and in
for
sustainability?
the vineyards is, there's the aspect from the vineyard part. Obviously, it's the biodiversity. We need to protect our soil. It's like a legacy. Okay, so the intention is really to do everything you can in order to have a richness in your soil. So one of the things I will not go through all the things I do, but one which is obviously is to have grass on your vineyard. There's no sense to cut everything. Okay, that's really it's simple as I say, but it's difficult to put in practice. But you have to do it. The second thing is about climate change, and especially here, it's about the water resources. And that is a project I have in the future, is to do what we call generative hydrology. I don't know if it makes sense.
Generative hydrology, yeah.
Yes.
That sounds interesting.
Because obviously the water resource is rare. But if we use it very carefully and very clever, we can manage it. So that is something I'm looking at here, is in order to keep all this water than enough.
Yeah.
If I can do that, maybe I can at least pass perhaps 20 years at least.
Fantastic.
I don't know in long term, perhaps there will be no solution anymore,
Yes.
but at least for the next 20 years.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's for the vineyard part. And then obviously there is the winery part. So for that something is very usual. You need to have, you need to build a winery that you don't use, any cooling system. You need to isolate it. You need to not to use too much water, to do the wine. And then there is a conditioning part. So for Gigondas, it's quite a big challenge because we have premium wine, and for our clients, it's really difficult to buy a simple bottle when it is a premium one. So it's why we use a Gigondas bottle, and it is very important for our clients. So, and this is about sustainability. Sustainability is always how to reach a compromise between sustainability goals, where you want really to go very far in bottle and packaging conditioning, and what is the reality. And Gigondas is a good challenge because you need to. So what I did, I didn't change the bottle, but I use 100% recycled paper label. I use aluminum caps because that's actually it's a main issue. I think it's a best solution. And also I use natural, how do you say, comment on dit bouchon? It's cork, natural cork.
Okay.
But for the other one, for the Côte du Rhône, for instance, I've started this year to use we call a reuse bottle. So the bottle that the client give back, to plates, and they wash it, and you can reuse it. And that you need to have very simple bottle, very standardized bottle. Okay, so it's less sexy, but it's more environmental friendly. Okay.